So today we are going to talk about vectors in C++. So let's start with some programming and see what is there in vectors. So let me name it vect1.cpp. So for including the libraries, we need to include iostream. Then we need to include, let me yank this. So P Ctrl O P Ctrl O P. Okay, so firstly we will include bits C std++. Sorry, stdc++.h. Then we will include vector, and we may also include string. So we will use using namespace std. So firstly we will see how to declare a vector in C++. Int main. So we will declare a vector by vector. Then we are giving it a type of int, and let's say this vect1. So what is a vector? Vector is kind of a dynamic array which has ability to resize and do multiple operations. Means it is a modification of an array. So let us perform some basic operations using vector. So firstly we will see how to print the contents of a vector. So we need to populate this vector. So what we will do is vect1 dot push. Suppose we are giving it 34. So we will populate the vector. So let's give it something 34, 345, let's say 786 or something. So this is the vector now. Now we need to show the contents, that what it is actually doing, what it is actually containing. So void show vect. It will take a input as vector which is of type int, and this will be vect. So now we will display the contents of the vector. So for displaying the content, we will do for auto iter it equal to vect.begin till iteration does not equal to vect.end and iteration plus plus. Now we will print out the contents of the vector. So star id, and we can print some space here, and we will pass this vector show vect and vect1. See if I have done this correctly or not. So g++ minus val minus o vect.cpp.o vect cpp. Fine. So there is no I have done one mistake. There is no no function like push. It will be push back. So vector has push back. Now suppose this will work correctly. Paste iostream. Yeah, so this compiled correctly. vector1.cpp.o. Yeah, So what we can see is vect1, it has 34, then 4, then 345, then 786. So accordingly it has 34, then 4, then 345, then 786. So this thing worked correctly. Now what we will do is we will do some more operation with this vector. So let us see if we can check if we can do anything more with this vector, because this is the most flexible thing in C++, one of the most flexible thing. So if we want to check the element at the front, we will do so this cout vect1 dot front. So let's see, front element. Now if we want to show the last element or element at the back, we will do vect1 dot back. Now let's run this. So front element is 34 and last element is 786. Okay, you can give a n line here. Now we can see the element at some position. So let's say element at position, suppose 2, equal to position. So for getting the element at some position, we will do is vect1 dot position, sorry, vect1 at then position. We'll pass the position here. Hopefully this works correctly. Yep. So at position 2 it is 345. So this is 0, this is 1, this is 2. Now let's see a different operation. We can pop the elements of a vector. So for popping, we will do pop element from back vect1 dot pop back. So this might work. So what it will pop is what? Oh, sorry. So this can't be displayed. So what we have to do is we have to pop this here. So we are popping the element, and so suppose we are displaying the element. So cout vector and we are calling the show vector function, and we will pass vect1, and now we are popping the element, and we will again show this vector. So now we will show the vector and let's see what it is happening. Oops, it's a minor typo. So we have seen that the last element has been popped, means 786 has been popped. Now the new vector is this one. It would be better if we can add something like an line here. Fine. Handle. So we have seen how to pop from back, and supposedly it will have pop front too. Now let's see front. Okay, so it has only pop back. This is pop back. Fine, I'm just experimenting with things. Now what we will do is we will see the size of the vector. So see out size vect1 dot size. So size is 3 now. But if we want to see the capacity of the vector, so Control O, down kept. Now we want to see just the capacity. The capacity might vary from the size. Capacity is 4. So this was aimed to store 4 elements, and it is now storing 3 elements. Now what we can do is we can see how to insert elements in the vector in some different ways. So suppose we are entering from the back, so vect1 plus back. So this is another way of entering some elements. Now we are entering some elements here. Now we will show the elements what it is doing. Oops. Vect1. Fine. So what plus back does is we are entering the elements from the back. So 45, 67, 145, then 435. So it is just like a push operation. So push back and plus back are kind of doing same thing. Now is there is push front. One dot push front. Okay, no push front is there. We can reference the CPP guide or CPP manual. It's a treasure, as said by many. So this is implicit back, and we have already seen push back, and we will see if the vector is empty or not. So if not vect1 dot empty, we will see out, we will print vector is not empty. So vector is not empty. Okay, shift, control shift V. We are cutting this and pasting here. So we are showing that it is not empty. Now what we can do is we can print the size. So have we printed the size? Yeah, we have printed the size and capacity before. Now there are some other operations which we will do, but let's see how to traverse this vector in some different ways. So let me print some new lines. See out. So now we will see how to do some more operations in this vector. So if you want to travel the vector from right to left, we will begin from CR begin, and we will go to till CRN. So we are traversing the vector from right to left, traversing the vector from right to left. So for auto iteration equal to vect1 dot CR begin, iteration not equal to vect1 dot CR end, and iteration plus plus see out iteration. Fully this will work. So this is traversing the vector from right to left, and for left to right we will do this vect1 dot begin vect while iteration is not equal to vect dot end and iteration plus plus. Now we will see how to insert an element at some random positions. So suppose we are inserting the element at position number 2 or 3, suppose 3, and we are inserting the value 893, and we are again showing this show vect1. Okay. Suppose we are inserting the vector at first position. So this will be vect1 dot begin. So this has been entered in first position. Wait a second, this thing I have to print some inline, and okay. So we have entered this element in the first position. So previously what was it? It was 34, 4, 345, 45, 67, 145, 435, and we have entered here. Now we will see how to resize the vector, change the size of the vector without affecting the element. So firstly we will see the size of the vector now. Size of this vector is vect1 dot size. So size is 8. Now we will do vect1 dot resize. So for resizing we will do resize to say 6 or 5, and we will again paste it, and we will see that the vector size has changed. But if we see the contents of the vector, okay, so the contents have been changed. So 839, 334, 4, 345 and 45, and it has been resized to 5. So the contents have been changed. Now if we do, let's comment this out. Now if we do vect1 shrink to size, suppose 4, and we will show the vector. Let me check this once. I think I'm doing something wrong. Shrink to C++ reference is one of the good side. C++ reference is one of the good site. So vector v default constructed capacity is capacity, resize capacity, okay, clear, shrink to fit, bounded capacity. So without any attributes. So we are resizing it and fitting it to 5. This is the property of shrink to fit. So we are looking at the another way of going through this iteration in vector. What we can do is int it equal to 0, I plus plus. So auto It is just showing warning, but I hope we can do this. Yeah. So this is another way, but it is showing warning, so it's better not to do this. So another type which will not show warning is vector1 cout star I. So this is the shortest way of doing it. So this is the shortest way of printing it. So this can be used in competitive programming, but I think this one is better. This one. This part uses begin and end and it goes, but this can also be done. This is also a good way of doing it and a short way. Now what we will see is we will see how to declare a vector of size, suppose with some elements. So for doing that we will let's declare another vector int vect2 and vect2 dot assign 7,92. Now what we will do is show vector vect2 firstly what we need to do here is cout handle so we are seeing that 7 elements of 92 are assigned in this vector. So by this thing we can create a set of vector. We can assign set of unique values to a vector, continuous values to a vector. Now we will see how to create a vector pair. So vector pair, this is a pair int comma string vect pair. Now to insert in this vector we will do vect pair dot emplace back. Firstly we will insert a integer and then string, suppose remote. Now let's enter another, suppose 54 74, suppose Denmark. For int I equal to 0, I is less than vect pair dot size I plus plus cout vect pair of I dot first vect pair so we will see that for traversing a pair of vector we will see vector1 dot pair dot first vector pair of I dot second. And then So we are seeing that this has been displayed here: 34 Jammu, 54 Denmark, 74 India. So this is how we display vector pairs. So see out. And another thing is, for auto I to vector pair, see out I dot first I dot second Yep. So this is the shorter version of how to traverse a vector pair. And what we can do more is we can swap two vectors. So suppose we will show vector 1, see out vector 1. So show vector 1. This is vector 1, and for that vector 2, vector 2, and this is vector 2. Now we are swapping this vector 1 dot swap vector 2. Now we will show this again. Young this P. Now we are seeing that vector 1 has, wait a second, let me give this angle. So vector 1 was this, vector 2 was this. Now vector 1 has become this, and vector 2 has become this. So the elements of vectors have been swapped. So this is pretty much an introductory video about vectors. There are many more things that you can do with vectors. So please feel free to refer to this site, like CPP reference, CPP, this one, reference.com. This is a gem for C++ programmers, as they said. So everything can be found here, and if you are stuck in something, then use the stackoverflow.com and you will find almost any question there, or some discussions forums. You can also use this c++.com, but cppreference.com is a better site for referencing with lots of example. So this is all about vectors, and try some programs from HackerRank and other things. So one thing I forgot to tell is where are the vectors located. So the vectors are if you want to look at the advanced concept like the library of vectors in C++, you can go to cd, then user, then it was include, yes, then wait a second, include, then boost. It was under boost, then we can do a quick find. So it is under fusion, then container, fusion, then container, and here we can see the vectors. So there are too many libraries here in vectors. My god, there are too many libraries. What we can do is we can go to vector and we can check this vim vector iterator at hpp. This is the header file of vector, and this is a complex header file which professional programmers can understand. So this is the header file, which is including all the header files. It's like init in Python, which includes all the header files. So when we are referencing this, we will call this. So there are many things, so we can find this in user, include, boost, fusion, container, and vector. So if you want to go to this and look at the source code, you can feel free to look at it, but don't mess up. Don't do anything under sudo su. Just look at it under read mode. And another thing we can do is man vector. Okay, so there is no manual for vector, but there are generally manual for this. Puts q, so there is manual for q, then stack, okay, no stack manual, iterator, so these are iterator. So if you want to check something more, you can either go to CPP reference, or you can use manual using the command man, or you can just go and look at the source codes. So this is all, and thanks for watching.